What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. This is TW Motorsports, and today, yes, we are doing something a little bit different. So I get asked this all the time, like, how much would you take for this? How much would you take for that? So I thought it'd be cool to put a video together of what I would take or what kind of money it would take to peel a vehicle out of my hands. Now, right now, as it sets, we currently have 13. And I will tell you that 13 is too many. And honestly, I probably shouldn't have bought the ZR1 that you see here behind me that you guys saw in the last video, but I'm going to put a price on everything. So like I said, I get asked a lot, what would you take for this? What would you take for that? So today I'm going to price every single car that I own. If it's something that you're really interested in, I will put a link in the description with my email address or my Instagram, so you guys can hit me up either place. And I will tell you that the price is the price. They are not going to move. And some cars that I don't want to get rid of are going to be priced ridiculously high, and other ones might be reasonable. So let's get started here in the garage, and hopefully you guys aren't getting a terrible echo. But we've got 3 here in the garage. Like I said, I have 13 total, 12 of which are here, 1 of which is not, and we'll talk about all of them. But we'll start here on the green Sierra pickup. Now, as I said, I'm going to price these. If I don't really want to get rid of them, they may seem a little bit high, but the green Sierra, if you guys have been with me very long on this channel, you guys know that we have done a ton of stuff to this. So if you, any of these cars, if you want to go back and look at older videos to kind of see about them, it would probably make it a little bit easier so you could see exactly. I'll try to touch on some of the stuff that I've done, but I may not hit it all. Anyway, the green Sierra, it's a 2002. I really wanted to buy my dad's truck. As if you guys do or don't know, my dad has a green step side in the same body style, and I just love the look of these trucks. I really, like I said, don't really want to get rid of it, but I am going to put a price on it today. It has all new paint, although it's really nasty right now. I really wish I could push it out. The sun's in an odd spot, so that's why we're doing this in the garage, and then we'll go outside. But green, all new green paint, new mirrors, new door handles, the tailgate shaved, it has a spray and bed liner, it's got new front and rear bumpers, all GM parts other than the headlights. It's a brand new GM grill. Obviously we're in the process of putting a V8 in it, and at some point soon hopefully it will be complete. I've got a majority of the parts already collected. I'm just waiting on a few odds and ends pieces to finish up the motor here, and then it will be in. But let's say somebody calls me or sends me a message and wants to buy it right now. 15 grand is what it would cost, and depending on where I am, that's the cost. So if you catch me in the middle of the motor install and you just want to roll it out and take it, 15 grand is what it would take. Or if it's completely finished by the time you got here, 15 grand is what it would take to peel it out of my hands. Now, like I said, I really don't want to sell it. That's probably high to some people, but that is the price. We have done several things on the interior as well. We put a new steering wheel in, we put a console in, two-tone the dash, and 15 grand is what it would take to buy it, and obviously it would come with all the parts if it wasn't assembled. So that is where we are at on this one. So let me know, like I said, if you guys are interested in any of these things, send me an email, hit me up on Instagram. On to the ZR1. Now, you guys know in the last video I just bought this thing, but like I said, I'm going to put a price on everything. This thing, I'm not even going to uncover it. Black. If you didn't check that video out, I'll post a link up here above. But 2009 ZR1, completely stock, nothing done to it whatsoever. It beautiful car. There's really not a whole lot to say about it. 17,000 miles, I believe, is what's on it. And really well maintained. I really like this car, but I'm putting a price on everything. 59 grand is what it would take to buy this car from me. On to, not a whole lot more to say on that. So on to the Trans Am. So I know this is going to make a lot of people sad, but I am going to put a price on it. 2002 WS6 car. I started this probably a year and a half ago now. It's been a little while, but I've been waiting on parts for the twin turbo setup. I thought I was going to do a single turbo, which is why I put the K member in. Anyway, you guys can go back and look at some of the older videos. This car is a really clean car. We've taken care of all the cosmetic things like the bubbling top. It's got a brand new top on it. The interior on this thing is really nice. It's got a little bit of wear, you can tell, on the driver's side bolster, but not worn through. No cracks, no interior issues whatsoever, no door panel cracks. I replaced the door panel, and you would buy it as it sets for 25 grand. So 25 G's is what it would take to get this thing out of here. Like I said, I know that's probably high, but I really don't want to sell it. I really want to finish this thing, and I'm close, guys. I've got a lot of parts. I'm just waiting on one or two little things to get started on this, and obviously we got a ton of stuff going on, but 70,000 miles, I believe, is what's on it. It was an original owner. I got it from the dealer they traded it into, which is also where they had all their service work done. I really miss driving this thing, so I really don't want to sell it, but if somebody wanted to bring me 25 grand, they would take it the way it sets with the twin turbo kit, everything to put it back together, I would include for that price. So let's go on outside. So this is 3 of the 13. Let's go outside and take a look at what we got out there and talk about prices and what they are. So we'll just start here and work our way down the driveway. I know there's so many vehicles. It's out of control, honestly, guys. But the poor FRC Corvette lost its place in the garage when we got the ZR1, just because, I mean, for financially, guys, it's makes more sense to keep this outside for the time being until the shop's finished, because that's obviously worth way more money. But the FRC Corvette, honestly, guys, one of my favorite cars that I've ever owned. I've always loved the look of these. It's a 99. They didn't make many of these. I think 311, I believe, in white. So not a ton of them out there. We've done a few things to this. Like I said, all these cars, you can go back on the channel and look and see the modifications that are done to them. But this one has coilovers, tinted the windows. That's it. There's nothing really done to this car. I bought it. It had Borla exhaust. 43,000 miles on it. Obviously, all FRC cars are 6 speeds. This is just a beautiful car. It does have some Z06, some C6 Z06 wheels on it. Don't really want to sell it. If somebody really wanted to have it, though, I think I would probably sell this car for like $20,000. I'd say, let's say $20,000 would buy this car from me, just like it is right now. I don't have any extra parts or anything for it. I sold the wheels that came on it. They weren't original anyway. And I do have the original springs, the leaf springs. If somebody wanted to put it back to stock as far as the ride height, I would include those for 20 grand. So not a lot to say about that. I know that's high, but I really don't want to sell that car either. So on to the Suburban. The Suburban, we're in the process of lowering, and so by the time somebody probably hit me up, it may already be lowered. But 2011 Chevy Suburban, obviously you guys have seen it lately. We took all the trim off, we tinted the windows. It will be lowered. I'm not sure how low it's going to be. It's going to be pretty low compared to what it is right now. 190,000 miles on this now after driving it to California. We did drive it out there, but not a whole lot to say about it. It is a leather LT sunroof. The only option it doesn't have is nav, and it doesn't have the power folding back seats. So it does have rear entertainment. Pretty good shape, honestly. And if I had to sell this guy, 12 or let's say 13 grand is what it would take to get this from me, and that would include it being lowered. So 13 G's is what that would cost. On to my wife's car. Now she'll probably be mad for me pricing this thing, but she really likes this car. This is a 2017 ATS-V, and we bought this probably 4 or 5 months ago, and she, like I said, she really likes this car. But 40,000 miles as it sets right now. It is a twin turbo 6-cylinder. You guys saw me replace the brakes, or maybe you did or didn't. I did replace the brakes because I hated the brake dust on this thing, and it's really dirty right now. Actually, everything's really dirty. It's been really dusty and dry here, so in the morning it gets a nice coating of dust on the dew that's setting on them. So I really need to get this stuff inside. That's why I really need this shop completed. But not a whole lot to say about this. It is completely stock as well. I haven't messed with it. And if somebody wanted to buy this thing, 38 grand is what it would take. 40,000 miles, I think, right around 40,000 miles. Runs like a top. It is absolutely probably one of the nicest cars that she's owned, as far as like, I don't know, that SS was a pretty nice car, but that's what it would take to buy that, 38 grand. So on to this. I get a lot of questions on the Tahoe. How much would you sell it for? Hit me up when you're ready to sell it. So I've been waiting on paint, as you guys know, and my painter keeps pushing me off, and honestly, guys, I'm kind of getting tired of waiting. Although I really don't want to sell this thing, I've been thinking here lately, especially since I bought the ZR1. You guys know I posted a couple things about selling. The way it sets right now, so I do have the front bumper. I had the rear bumper, the original ones that came on it. I did sell the grill because I was going to replace that. I do have all the interior pieces. So if somebody wanted to buy it the way it's set right now, and it does run and drive, I still have to work on steering. It still has some looseness in the steering, and I think we'll get into that later if nobody does buy it. But if somebody wanted to buy it the way it's set right now, $8 grand would buy this thing, and that would come with all the pieces that I do have. Obviously that wouldn't be painted, so if it goes to paint, I'll probably pull that back and say no, I'm not going to sell it. But as of right now, if somebody wanted to come here and drive this thing home or trailer it home, whatever, $8 grand is what it would cost. It's got 220,000 miles, I believe, on the original V8. Now, for that price, I'm not going to include the LS motor. $8 grand would be literally what you see here, plus the front and rear bumpers and all the interior that I pulled out to clean. So, on to the back. We're going to go on. I know this is going to be a long video, guys, because we have a lot of cars to show. But let's go back to the back. And I really need to mow sections of my grass, but man, it's so dry. As you can see, we do not have a shop yet. They haven't even broken ground. I keep getting told I'm going to start this day, I'm going to start that day, but obviously we don't have anything started as of yet. I really need this thing to go up so I can get all this stuff inside. But on to the back. So we have 3 more in the back. I don't even know what our total is. There was 4 up front, 3 in the garage, so we're at 7. So here's 10. With these 3, the parts truck that we robbed the engine out of that's going in the Sierra, I probably would sell this thing, the entire truck. I don't want to part it out anymore. To be quite honest with you, there's a ton of good parts left on it, and I was keeping it around because it does have power windows, and I was going to use that to swap the green truck over. But if somebody wanted to buy this entire truck just the way it's set, I would take $1 grand for it, just like it sets. You just have to haul it off. Not a whole lot to say about it. It's a 2000 model. Like I said, it does have several good parts left on it, but not a whole lot to say. So the Saab, this poor freaking Saab. Guys, this thing is sail proof, and look at the bumper. It's all messed up. Anyway, the Saab, 2007, I believe. Saab all-wheel drive. This is a huge mistake. I shouldn't have bought this thing, but my plan was to drive it for a little while, but it just needs a few things. Honestly, it needs brakes, it needs some front end work. It runs and drives great. It randomly doesn't start because of that ignition switch, and that's really the reason I didn't drive this thing. I bought it for $2,800. I put $600 worth of tires on it because the tires were completely trashed. The thing runs great and drives pretty good, other than it needing some brakes, and the brakes aren't terrible, but it does have some alignment. I had it aligned when I put tires on it, but it needs ball joints and stuff like that. So with that being said, $2,800 is what I would take for this thing. I have it listed. I've had it listed for a while. Nobody seems to be interested. I think because they really don't know what it is. It is all-wheel drive. It's a 5.3. If this thing doesn't sell for $2,800, I will eventually pull the motor out and part the rest. But if somebody wanted to buy this thing, it would make a cool project for $2,800, and it's in pretty good shape. It doesn't have any rust on it or anything. That front bumper is kind of rough, but I think it's just because the clips are broken up on the fender. Anyway, on to the dually. You guys know that I posted that which should I get rid of, the dually or the Tahoe, the 2-door Tahoe, and I honestly, I was surprised. More people wanted me to get rid of the Tahoe than this dually, but guys, I think the dually is going to have to go either way unless something else sells. Like I said, I've got too many things going on. I've got to get rid of something. I don't have to, but it would make more sense. But the dually, really nice. And honestly, I'm not in a huge hurry to sell this, because if something else sells, I may keep this. But 2003 Silverado, the cat-eyed dually, I really love the look of this. I think it would look really good on the ground, but I'm going to put a price on it like everything else. 8.1 Allison transmission. It is a I don't know, there's not a whole lot to say about that. 240,000 miles on the Allison and the 8.1, but no issues whatsoever. Runs and drives great. I've driven it several places. I actually drove it home from Kansas City, which is about 3 hours from me, and no issues whatsoever. As you guys saw here lately, we did do the C-notch in the back, so it is ready to drop, other than getting the drop stuff. So I don't have all that stuff. I don't have any of it actually. And so if somebody wanted to pick this thing up, I would sell it for 11 grand. And that would include, I do have a center console you probably saw in front of the ZR1 up there. That would come with it, and everything else that I have as far as, I think I've got a few interior pieces. I've got a new third brake light. So 11 grand is what it would take to buy that. So now we are up to 10. So we got all 10 of these. Now, with that being said, we're gonna move on to the garage downstairs. I may have to move some stuff out of the way to give you guys a look at what's in there. But let me pop the garage open and we'll talk about the cars in there. Now that we have the garage popped open, I'm not gonna move any of this stuff out. I'm just gonna kind of talk about what's in here and what it would cost. But guys, I've never put a price on this truck because I've always said that if I had to sell everything else and drive one, my old 52 Chevy pickup would be what I would keep in daily drive. With that being said, I am going to put a price on it. I've never done this before. And same thing with the 55 back there. I've never done that before. But this is a 52 Chevy pickup. We put a ton of work in this. It's slammed. It's got Viking coilovers all the way around, 20-inch torque thrust wheels, C6 brakes. It does have a parallel 4-bar setup in the back. So 9-inch rear, parallel 4-bar, panhard rod, got the rear mounted tank. And honestly guys, I was going to put one of these LS motors in it that you see, but if somebody wanted to buy this thing, and I'm not pulling it out because I got it running, but the last time I drove it, it did overheat. I actually think the thermostat's just sticking on it, but it does run and drive. 35 grand is what it would cost to pull this thing out of my hands. And I know that's really high, but I don't want to sell this at all. And so if somebody brought me 35 grand, I still probably would haul around about selling it, but I'm going to put a price of 35 grand on it. And that is what it would take to buy this thing. Like I said, I'm not going to pull it out. Same thing with the, you can see the Trans Am bumper back here and all my son's truck. And I'm going to put a price on that. I told a guy at work I'd put a price on my son's truck. I'm going to say $100 buys his little Power Wheel Sierra. So if somebody wants to buy the Power Wheel Sierra, boom, there you go, $100. On to the 55 two-door post back there. Guys, I bought this thing for, and that's why I consider having 13. I actually have two 55s. I have another two-door post that I originally bought, and we blasted it, and it had some pinholes in the top. And I found this one, the guy who does all my paint work and body work that I'm waiting on for the Tahoe, he had another one, so we basically started with it because it was in a little better shape. So that is what you see here. If somebody wanted to buy this thing, it's got all new sheet metal on it. I mean, new quarters, new one-piece floor. It's mini tubbed, new doors, new firewall. If somebody wanted to buy this thing, 20 grand is what it would take to buy it. Would come with the title and VIN plate, obviously. But we're a long way from starting on this. There's so many other projects in front of this, and this is like a lifelong dream car project that I've had. I love a 55 Chevy, so if somebody had to buy one, 20 grand, and a majority of your metal work is done, all you would need to do is bolt fenders on and really paint it. It's pretty squared off right now. So anyway, I think that covers everything. If somebody wanted to buy the other 55, so I do have another 55 that doesn't have a title, and it's just the cab, the body essentially, no doors, and I would sell it for, let's say, $750 for the actual body itself. Anyway, I think that covers it all. Oh, you know what? I'll throw the golf cart in here. So if somebody wanted to buy my lifted golf cart that my son has just got so freaking dirty right now from driving on gravel, I'd sell that thing for $3,500. A gas golf cart with the 6-inch suspension lift and some 14-inch wheels. I'm selling it all. I told you guys I'd put a price on everything, so I did. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully for the people out there that are constantly asking, what would you take for this? Now you know. And so if it's available, hit me up in the comments or hit me up on Instagram, send me an email. Like I said though, the price is the price. So if you call me and say, or send me a message and say, hey, I'll give you 20 grand for that 52 Chevy pickup, I'm just gonna ignore the email. Because the stuff that I don't wanna sell, I am very, very firm on the price. Now, these three right here, you might be able to work on, probably not that, but you could definitely work on the price on this, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, if you like this video, guys, hit that thumbs up button. If you are not subscribed, guys, hit that subscribe button, because the stuff that we do not sell, which probably won't be any of it, we'll continue to work on, and we'll just keep rolling out videos on all this stuff. And you know, one or two things might disappear, but they might get replaced by something else. Anyway, while you're down there subscribing, guys, make sure you hit that bell icon that notifies you every single time we drop a new video, and stay tuned to see what we work on and hopefully not buy next.